いいね。ゴールドロジャー。やっぱ海賊はこうでなくちゃ。だから俺は海に出たんだ。グランドラインに行って、ワンピースを手に入れて、俺は海賊王になる。
Ah, One Piece. Some people say it's peak, others say it's mid, but that's not what we're focused on right now. But did you know that the One Piece anime released back in 1999? That's older than me, and it's now one of the biggest and longest running anime manga series of all time. And it's almost impossible to find someone who hasn't at least seen Luffy's face once on this planet. But as most of you may know, anime wasn't always the culture phenomenon that it is now. Not that long ago, anime wasn't really that common. It was even looked down upon. Like, people who would get bullied would start bullying you if you liked anime. And I think it's mainly because of the over-sexualization of characters associated with it that you wouldn't see in regular American television. Like, you could be watching anime and then boom, random booba scene with a half-naked woman or some crazy jiggle physics that makes absolutely zero sense. Japan is weird sometimes. But, I mean, it's still very common now, but I guess we just kind of accepted it that that's what it is. Back then, people found anime to be weird and refused to interact with it, which is understandable because, to be fair, I've seen my fair share of wacky shit in anime. Like, to the point where I've had to just drop a few shows because it's just too much. I love the Fate series, and you can probably tell just by looking at my channel, but I've watched a shit ton of Fate stuff. Like, I even played Grand Order, but holy hell did I not bother watching Kaleidoscope. That shit was just a no-no for me. So yeah, I guess I understand why people find it weird. But if you were a kid who liked anime, you probably have to keep it a secret or risk being bullied. That's where the term closet weeb came from, where you really like an anime but you just don't admit it because you don't want to seem like the weird guy. And I remember when I was younger, I watched a lot of One Piece, and I would tell people that I did, and they all kind of gave me the same reaction where they didn't know what One Piece was, but they understood that it was an anime, and they would all just kind of look at me weird and be like, you watch those shows? And I slowly just stopped telling people that. And yeah, there were shows like Pokemon, Dragon Ball, and even Yu-Gi-Oh! But those weren't considered anime since they've been dubbed and marketed so heavily in America that they were considered more like American cartoons at that point. And this whole not liking anime thing continued for quite some time, and the only place you could talk about anime was online or if you were lucky a close friend of yours. But as we've seen recently, there's been somewhat of an explosion in the anime industry, and suddenly everyone's a huge anime fan since day one. Now, I know I'm exaggerating a bit, but it genuinely felt like an overnight thing. I swear to you, one day people didn't like anime, the next day did. And now people would start looking at you weird if you don't watch anime. Like, what? You haven't watched all 1,000 episodes of One Piece, you fucking normie? I've watched so much anime that I probably watched every single anime in existence, loser. Go watch anime. And at first, it was kind of annoying seeing your friend Timmy act like he was an OG anime fan, even though not long ago he vowed to never digest anything related to anime. But if you sit down and really think about it, now more people can be open about anime and don't have to go through any bad experiences because of it. And you know, as long as you're not weird about it, it's all good. You know, we can all like anime together. And I'm not exactly sure when the anime explosion happened, but I remember it being around when Demon Slayer got an anime. And I could be wrong about this, but for some reason it got a lot of people talking. And on top of it, you had Unfoldable, arguably one of the best studios when it comes to animation working on it. So not only was it visually stunning, Demon Slayer was something that was easy to digest and cool with the hint of edginess. Like, who doesn't want to see a family's kid get murdered by demons, then swing 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 a cool water sword around? You know, another really big show that I'm pretty sure got a lot of people interested was Attack on Titan, since it was different and a lot cooler. Again, seeing big monsters eat tiny humans is pretty easy to digest if you're not paying attention to the deep storytelling and foreshadowing that's in there. But even people who didn't watch anime religiously or still don't watch anime religiously probably watched Attack on Titan, and it's honestly pretty cool to see how big and widespread the show has become, and how long and dragged out it's become too. And from there it only grew more and more and more and more. Like hell, we're even getting more anime films here in America that perform better than most blockbuster films, like Mugen Train. I swear to you that had everyone and their mothers talking about it. And I don't think I've heard that much hype about an anime movie ever. Like, the last big anime film I can remember before that are Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle in the Sky. And now we have studios pumping out more shows than I can count on my fingers. Another thing that I've also noticed a lot, and again, maybe it's just me, but I've seen a lot of people start collecting manga, myself included. But I've seen people have like libraries full of manga, and I can only imagine how much that would cost. But yeah, a lot of people started reading manga because hey, anime comes from manga, crazy. And a lot of the times the manga is just better than the anime. And people found out about amazing works such as Berserk, Vagabond, and more recently Chainsaw Man, which only helped grow and increase the popularity of the anime and manga industry. And people are now non-stop talking about these things. Like, I'm sometimes sitting in class and I can hear people conversing about the latest chapters of Jujutsu Kaisen that dropped. So that's cool, I guess. I remember being scared to even go near the manga section in the library, and now we have people flexing that they spend over $500 on manga that they're probably never going to read. One last thing I want to talk about is probably the worst thing to come out of all of this, and it's the anime manga fandoms. Like, holy shit, am I terrified. You will not find anyone else scarier and more committed than anime fandoms. I've made a video about something similar before, but essentially, like a lot of shows, they usually have a strong fan base behind them. And unfortunately, you will always see the weirdest shit come out of them. And the most apparent example always seems to be the My Hero Academia fandom. Like the amount of horrendous shit I have seen scrolling through TikTok and seeing someone with green hair and a squeaky voice do something unholy, godforsaken things to a My Hero plush or poster makes me understand why people get bullied. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not all bad. There's obviously cool people who watch My Hero, and by no means is it a bad show, but holy hell is it one of the fan bases that gets curb stomped more than any other by the anime community. But yeah, it's crazy to see how anime went from something cringe and looked down upon to something cringe and glorified. Don't get me wrong, anime and manga still has its weird and wacky stuff, and obviously not everyone's a fan of it. And some people prefer dub over sub, but I think everyone can appreciate how far anime has come and how big it's grown over these past years. And we can only expect bigger and better things to come. And fun fact, the first anime I ever watched was Haikyuu no Go, if you know what that is. Hey, so this was just a rant that I went on because I'm extremely weird, but let me know what you guys think, and I really want to know about your guys' experience with this stuff. Were you guys like anime fans, or were you closet fans, or did you not like anime and now you do? Because I'm genuinely interested, so just let me know. Also, another thing I want to say is thank you for the support on the previous videos. It's just keep commenting, liking, subscribing, it'll help my channel, and I really appreciate it. So, and I think a good goal would be 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so yeah, there's plenty of time. And again, thanks for watching the video.